What's going on, guys? My name's Clayton, also known as Commander, and you know what time it is? It is time for League Center for October 25th, 2017. We got a lot of results to show you this week. We have 5 replays this week, and we have an interview with the coach of the San Antonio Shamans, Coach 27. Remember to comment down below the questions, and you'll see in the comments. Also, at the end of the video, we will discuss and reveal who is the coach for next week. So remember to leave some questions. It doesn't have to be Pokemon related, as you'll find out this week. So let's start off the bat with the GSA. We get to talk about playoffs in the GSA because the playoffs are tight. So starting in the red division is the Oakland Roserades, 7-1. Kind of has that. He kind of has his division good to go. Followed by Epics and the Ursarangs, 5-2. Joey and the Los Angeles Latias, 5-3. Golden State War Turtles are 4-4. And you notice, like for example, moving over to the San Antonio Shamans, 5-4 in week 8. That's because I took a later timing of the playoff so that we could talk playoffs more. So this is the most up-to-date GSA Season 3 results. No, it's not week 8's. Deal with it. So, red division is Oakland, followed by Ingersoll, followed by Los Angeles, followed by Golden State. That is really close. And 3 of them are in the playoffs right now. And the blue division, which is Money, Cal, Virgie, and Silver, basically Money is the only one who's left to really be in there. With the losses from Cal and Virgie, they have to do some pretty good stuff to pull ahead there. It's really tight, and there's only 4 weeks left. What's going to happen is beyond my control. We're going to move over to the Johto Conference, where it's even more interesting. So, Charlotte Beedrills and Coach 2K leading the Gold Division, while, of course, Blue has yet to lose in the Silver Division. He obviously leads the conference, and Beedrills lead the Gold Conference with 27 in the San Antonio Shamans, 5-4 right now. Also, the Milwaukee Muse are 5, and they've yet to play this week, but I think they play Audi, so that's probably going to be 6-3 at the end of this. And then sitting right on the behind of them is Commander, Coach Sylvan KC, and Ben, Coach of Melbourne Magneton, sitting right behind there. Same sort of differential. It's just going to depend on these next couple of matches on who makes the GSA Season 3 playoffs. We're going to move on to Lude Season 1 Week 7 results, which is not very updated due to Dazzle, or 27, who you ever want to blame. I'm personally going to blame Dazzle. However, some things to point out. The playoffs have not changed. Kentucky Mudsdales are still sitting on the playoff line. And you'll see a couple replays this week from games from Techno's side, Techno versus Commander, and AJ versus Meerkat. Okay, we're going to move on to the UDL Season 4 Week 2. These were the results I could get. Bacon versus Kihor. So the Absols versus the Floatsels happened yesterday, I think, at the time of me recording this video. So that wasn't on here, but you can see that PokeLife ended up beating Eevee, which was really sad because Eevee's my favorite. Brain is sitting 1-1. Some other people, KMJ, sitting 0-2. Other people to point out, Bacon, I think Bacon lost that match. I don't remember. Derp is sitting 1-1. Knight is sitting 1-1 after his Bullet Seed mishap last week, and then Jude is sitting 0-2. We move on to the Dream League DL Season 4 Week 6. Some of this isn't updated, and some of it is like completely updated. So, things to point out: Scrappy and the Dallas Dugons are sitting 4-3 right now. Techno and the Josh Nichols are sitting 4-2. The Lavender Town Luxrays in, I believe, Coach Obi is sitting 4-2. No, not Coach Obi. I think that's Brain. I think, yeah, because Obi's Minnesota Wild Charge. See, it was close. Luxray knows Wild Charge. Detroit Terrible and Voch Nacho. Coach Nacho sitting 2-3. Twong and the Vancouver Golducks sitting 1-4. On the other end of things, Matt sitting 4-2 with the Montreal Milotics. Pedro sitting 3-3 Bacon sitting 2 and 4, and then Newman sitting 1 and 5. And one of the replays we're going to do this week is the DDL Season 3 Finals, which is Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics, versus Pedro, coach of the Vittoria Vaporeons. You'll see that here in a few moments. And last, we have Brawl for All. This is the round of 32, which I think just got finished, so you'll see more results later. But some people to point out and root for. It's Yahoo joined the Discord server, which the link's in the description, by the way. He's sitting up there. JT's, who is one of the guys we were rooting for, did lose in a 1-0 to Techno. Vergi just lost, but he moved on pretty well. King L5 is our last saving hope in seeing someone cool here go. Hiker, of course, moved on. The reigning champion Sablo moved on. Scrappy ended up losing a 2-0 match against David. And that's pretty much all you need to really worry about Brawl for All. So if you want a league covered down below, comment down below the league. Just send it to me via Discord. I'd be happy to cover any of the leagues. So that is all. Now we're going to move on to your replays for this week. Welcome to the replay section of this league center. We got 5 replays to show you this week, ranging from really close games to really great plays to 27 doing his stuff as he is the coach of the week. So we have 2 replays of him, some older replays of his that he wanted to show, and I was more than happy to talk them. So we're going to start off with the LEWD Season 1 Week 7 match of Sylveon KC versus Charlotte Beedrill and Coach Commander versus Coach Techno in a really close game, and you want to expect because of the teams. So let's roll straight into here. 4-4. Flygon's in as Scrappy's mixtape comes in on a U-turn. Take the U-turn rather well. It's going to be a jump going into Conklodor here. And this is where things get interesting. So it's going to be a missed overheat by Rodham Heat. And the Drain Punch is going to take out and pretty much completely heal Conkeldurr. And here comes in Espeon. Espeon is going to help with that miss. Going to get a crit Dazzling Gleam to take out Sid. Yeah. And here a Defog comes. Going to get rid of some of the rocks. And just going to continue with the Defog as Toxic going to come down, taking out the Flygon. Here's going to come in Band. I believe it was, no, it's Life Orb. Yeah, words. You know who it is. Sunny Day's going to come out on Commander's side as that's going to set up for Leafeon to do some real stuff here. Going to be a Leaf Blade, going to take out the Crocodile. I don't even know. And here comes in Mew, and this is how, so an X-Scissors is going to come. That does a good chunk of damage, but Mew's going to set off the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to completely hinder any plans. So it's going to be a switch here, jumping into Espeon, and it's just going to be some soft boiling and setting up some Calm Minds on Techno's end, hoping not to get any drops. And that's literally what happens for the rest of the match here. You'll see a lot of Shadow Balls from the Commander's side, another Soft Boil, and just Techno playing it safe here. Setting up as many Calm Minds as he can. Commander just trying to get some special defense drops with Shadow Ball, which does not come to fruition. So you can see it just gets lower and lower, and Ice Beam's going to come out. At least it didn't freeze. You know, positives. Soft Boil, as I said, Techno playing it safe. And with Leafeon burnt, can only do like a max of like 40 damage or something. And here comes Aziz Steelium Z. Crit 30%. And then Ice Beam taking it out. And a 1-0 victory for Techno, but in a really close match that wasn't planned to be close. We're going to move on to 27 here. He's against Vergi, who is normally coach of Kelowna Mawile, or the Lucky Lols, and a really close endgame that would make Ben really proud. So here we go. It's going to be a switch into Zygarde here, and going to deal a decent amount to Arcanine, as Outrage is going to come out on the Arcanine. And here comes the Heliolisk, going to take out with Hyper Voice, and here comes in Diggersby. Hyper Voice does a lot of damage to Diggersby, and Diggersby is going to set up an agility. And Earthquake going to take out Heliolisk. This is Life Orb Diggersby. You see how Life Orb works? That's going to take out Roserade. 1% left, just enough to take out the Victini. And that leaves a 1-0 win for 27. That would make Ben really proud. Are you proud, Ben? We're going to move on to another LEWD match. This is AJ, coach of the Toronto Blue Flares, versus Meerkat versus coach of the Kentucky Mudsdales. In a really close game that was looking like kind of like a 4-0 win for AJ. However, Volbeat is Volbeat. So it's 4-2 right now. Here comes in the Volbeat. Going to T-Wave, the Jirachi, and it paralyzed, it can't move. So what's going to happen now? A U-turn's going to come, and it's going to jump into Clefable here to take the Psychic. Kind of decently, in all honesty. It's going to be switch on AJ's end, come into Alakazam to take a Moonblast pretty well. And then Alakazam going to do a lot of damage to Clefable, but... And then that special attack drop, that means some things, potentially. As here comes in Volbeat. Volbeat is Prankster, but it's going to be a switch coming into Raikou here. As a Roost is going to come up on the Volbeat, and you can see how this is going. It's going to Toxic the Raikou. 51% of a Thunderbolt right here. It's going to be just roosting, trying to stay alive. A Volt Switch is going to come, just so that there's no more toxic damage. And here comes Jirachi. I don't know if he understands. Jirachi is paralyzed. I don't think AJ remembers. Jirachi's paralyzed. Here comes some more U-turns as paralyzed, but still a little bit. Another U-turn, almost taking it out. Paralyzed, can't move. Yeah, it's going to be a switch. Jumping into Mandibuzz here. That can take a U-turn rather easily. It's going to be a Roost here. And a U-turn. Rocky Helmet Volbeat. Don't know how Meerkat thought of that. And look at this Psychic. And look at Alakazam just went down. And here comes in Raikou. It's going to be a Roost here. Thunderbolt. Yeah. Hoping for a paralysis. It's going to be a Roost again. Staying alive. It's the name of the game. Mini Roosts. More roosting. More roosting. Finally, AJ's like, okay, that's enough. We're going to go back into Mandibuzz here. Due to Prankster. Oh, look at that foul play damage. And with the Rocky Helmet. Ooh. Roosting all the way up, and Roost on his end. Only if Volbeat was slower than Mandibuzz, that U-turn would have done a good chunk of damage. Jirachi's going to come in on this U-turn, and basically it ends like this. A 2-0 win for AJ, but an amazing Volbeat set picked up. Meerkat picked up another 2 kills with. We're going to move on to another 27 replay. This is what we're going to talk about. SD Ferrothorn versus Blue. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to say here. It's going to come into the Ferrothorn right now, which is going to be a switch into Mismagius. Not a whole lot he can do. Shadow Ball going to do a decent amount. It's going to be a knockoff, killing the Mismagius. A Choice Scarf to Mismagius, mind you. And here comes in Ferrothorn. Nidoqueen's going to be here. It's going to be a switch going back into Kingdra, with the Earth Power doing crit damage. It's going to be a switch into Milotic as 27 sets up Rain so that Ferrothorn is staying alive. A lot of staying alive this week. Ferrothorn's going to come in as Rest Milotic. That can't do anything, right? Right? Going to be switching the Nidoking as a Swords Dance comes up on 27's in, and this is where things get fun. Flamethrower does a decent amount of damage. Power Whip missed, though. That's 27. That's like 27's everyday life, though. Earth Power going to come again. Here, an SD Power Whip going to take out a Nidoqueen at about half. Here comes Milotic. Scald, kind of hoping for the burn, but Power Whip is going to one-shot Milotic, as it should. That's what you get, Milotic. And then last is going to be Tapu Koko. He could have chose like anything, but he chose Grass Knot for some reason. Don't know why, maybe making a prediction, but Tapu Koko is going to go down. And 27 is going to pick up the win, a 3-0 win against Blue. Don't ask me what league that was in. And the last, and we talked about this earlier, the last um, replay this week is going to be Pedro, coach of the Vittoria Vaporeons, versus Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics, in the DDL season finale of season 3. In one of the closest games you'll see, literally. Trust me. So here we go. Blastoise versus Kingdra. And Dragon Tail is going to bring in Scolipede, which is really good for Matt because Poison Jab's going to come do a little bit of damage here. Life Orb. And the Speed Booster coming. Swords Dance comes out right now. Super Fang misses, which that sucks a lot. Rock Slide going to one-shot Crobat from there. So what can Pedro do? Pray that he lives a Rock Slide. And he lived a Rock Slide. Pray that he hits a Rock Slide. And he hit a Rock Slide. So it's back even. Pedro's a little ahead here. Rock Slide misses. And that's going to allow a Rain Dance to set up. A switch into Electros to take a Surf. Don't know how that roll was, but Matt's not going to deal with it. Going to bring in a Dragon Claw. And here comes in getting one shot by a Nidoking. That was a Mega Charizard X. It's going to be a switch here going into the Gothitelle, which just pretty much dies. But Life Orb damage is important. Here comes in the Kingdra. What's this Electros? Electros almost survives. However, Kingdra's going to take out the Electros. Here comes Blastoise. Draco Meteor, it's going to live that. Dragon Tail going to take out the Kingdra, and it's Lando versus Lando and Blastoise. Oh, never mind. Lando versus Nidoking. And out. And that makes a win on Pedro's end. Pedro, the Season 3 champion of the DDL in a 0-0 game. That's how you would want a match to end. I think he should be happy with that match. I don't know. It's Pedro. Who knows? So, we're going to move on to the Coach of the Week, which, if you can't tell by the title, is 27, Coach of the San Antonio Shamans. We will see you there. Welcome to the Coach of the Week for the 3rd week in a row. I think you could already tell who we're doing this week. We're doing one of my favorite coaches of all time. He's probably like my closest Americano friend in Draft League format. He's the coach of the San Antonio Shamans, the coach of the Mariah Mimikyus, the coach of the Lily City Lopunnies. There's probably about 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, there's.
This is 27.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy 27 here.
Last time we did all the league centers, 27 was on obviously, and we had a nice good conversation. And we have plenty of things to talk about this time, from the 2 leagues to how SD Ferrothorn can sweep blue to...
Yeah, shout outs to that. Thanks for spoiling it, man.
We got a lot to talk about. So we're going to move on to the teams. We're going to start with his own league, Lude, of course. What else would you expect the league to be called? In Season 1, right now week 7 of the time of recording this. And the Mariah Mimikyus, as I've previously mentioned, is 3rd out of the 12 teams, sitting 5-2 plus 8, with a team of Tapu Lele, Mega Lopunny, Volcarona, Donphan, Vaporeon, Alolan Muck, Decidueye, Thundurus Therian, Druddigon, Blastoise, Medicham, Sharpedo, and the most scariest of all, Rufflet.
I'm gonna get Rufflet 6 kills, at least 6 kills this season.
Does it have any so far?
No.
You don't face me, so I know that I won't get you those 6 kills, but talk a little bit about your team. There's some staples that you always like to have.
Okay, I obviously have the Mega Lomp there, the Tapu Lele, my favorite Gen 7 mod. People like to rag on me. Oh, your favorite mod's a Tapu. Shut up. Because it's broken and it's amazing. It started off really rough. It actually has done like next to nothing. It comes in, it kills like 1 mon and then dies every game I bring it. I have not brought Lomp to like half of my games. And like so far, the star of the team they've really just been the support mons, and like the cleaners really like Thunderous didn't really do anything, but Decidueye has more kills than I think Thunderous and Lop combined, because it got 4 against Cal, Scarf Decidueye did. And just like all the Mons that you would not think have any kills have most of mine. Like Blastoise has 4 kills because it just like did so much support versus Techno and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's been a weird season.
And I do want to point out how the playoffs works in Lude is the top 8 teams move on, and sitting third at week 7 going to be really hard for 27 not to make the playoffs.
Oh, we'll see if I can choke this away.
If you choke, that means I must have done something great because I'm sitting right below the playoffs right now.
Well, I mean, I don't see the bottom 3 teams making it. So really, I think it's going to be a fight between you and Merkit. Like, who decides to clutch it out more.
I will say T-Bug has a couple wins, however.
Well, I actually did not realize that you were above, well, that he was above you, but I thought he was actually below you, but now that I look at your record, man.
That's because you haven't put in Scrappy's game, I think.
Yeah, that's probably right. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. You know who I am going to be surprised if he doesn't make playoffs is Blue, newly returned back to the server. With his broken team that I don't know how he even lost a game. I don't know how he didn't 6-0 everyone.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
He wanted me to free Mega Kangaskhan. He made this huge petition about how it's not broken. And then I think he only did it because he had first pick and knew he was going to get it. And then he took it and is now, I think, 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need any of this disgusting, terrifying team that he put together, but he somehow managed to get it. So yeah, that was the whole thing. He got Tapu Fini as his 7th pick somehow. I don't know how that happened, but whatever, I guess. I have to play him now. Oh no, this is gonna go amazing.
Well, he did use the team he was going to use against you in his last match.
He brought the Glaceon set for me. That's what he mentioned. And he said that it had a move that was going to blow me back. And I believe I know what move that was. I believe it was Ice Shard. Because if you know, there was a game that occurred in a Gen 6 league where I had lost the game. I was about to lose, I believe, 3-0 to my good friend, God rest his soul, J Black Rapidash 3. He had his Weavile. I had nothing for it. It outsped me. I was done. He clicked Ice Shard instead of Ice Punch. And my Thundurus lived, killed him with Thunderbolt. Then he brought out Talonflame, clicked Flare. Well, he clicked Flare Blitz, but he was max HP, so he did not outspeed me. And I Thunderbolted and he died. And I won. So.
All because of Ice Shard.
Yes, all because of Ice Shard. He has not lived it down, even now.
I don't blame him. Okay. We're going to move on to the GSA, where...
Oh, God.
The GSA is a mess, especially the division that...
You know what's a mess? Oh, God. My team is a mess.
Kind of
Jesus Christ. It really is. Like, it started off like, oh, you got a good solid Manasys core, you got your little Decidueye there, your nice grass type, got Mamoswine, solid ground type, and then it gets really crazy. Like, I've Heligo, Mienshao, and then just a Kecleon. Why do I have Kecleon? That's a great question. I'll get back to you when I have an answer.
Yeah.
But I still have more wins than losses, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh, Even with the crazy, insane hacks that occurred in two of my losses.
and in the next loss to be put on the scoreboard.
Yes. Well, that one didn't. That one didn't involve hacks. I just played terribly. But I know two of my losses I actually did get hacked, and I complain about it a lot because it happens a lot. But there was I think when I played BJ2K, he outplayed me half the time, but there were two plays that determined the game. I missed Hydro Pump on Florges, which would have put it in range, I think, of Gong Shot, and he got the roll with Energy Ball on my Greninja, which basically ended the game there because I couldn't do anything. Like I had nothing to kill it with, but what kills Mew with, but whatever. And then played Frank. Have you seen that game? Have you seen?
Don't think I've seen that game.
Okay, it's probably because I couldn't post the link. I had to post the download.
Oh yeah,
But
that.
but I got he got two Spadef drops on me. He got a Spadef drop on my Mamoswine, which meant that I had to sack it. Then he burned my Scizor literally like the turn when I read hit that he was going to attack me. If I got that aerial ace, I think it was an aerial ace. If I landed that without getting burned, then I think I won because I think I won if he wasn't special Altaria because then he had a Mega and Bullet Punch would have 2 KO'd. His last Mon was Galvantula, which died, and Terrakion, which was Life Orb, which died. And I roosted, I believe. So he was dead, but whatever, I guess. Like his whatever, I guess. GG's, but if I meet you in playoffs and I 6-0 you and I say get destroyed, don't take it personally. I would have done it to anyone.
Speaking of playoffs, that's one of the questions. So we're going to move on to the questions real fast. 'Cause
Ah,
there's quite a
Jesus
bit.
Christ. Jesus Christ. Are
Let's
we
start-
going there?
Yes, we're going to start with Blue's first question, which is literally what I said. Who do you think will make the GSA playoffs?
Obviously him. Obviously L5. I don't even remember how many people can make playoffs in GSA.
I think
So-
it's 8. It's shoot, one from each division.
And then 4 wildcards.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that no one's in Fergie's division who's really a threat. So he'll probably make it. And then I don't know. I think there's one of these divisions who like everyone like no one said it, but everyone is like, yeah, this is pretty free. Yeah, I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And whoever just ends up with the best record in that division will make it. And then I want to say, I think 2K will make it. I think somehow you'll clutch it out. I think somehow
I have.
Ben will. I think somehow Ben will hacks his way in,
Yeah, of course.
and then
It's interesting.
the hopeful is that I stop losing and solidify my position in playoffs. I have not missed playoffs in GSA once, except for the time when I left the season.
Yeah.
And then I say that, but there've only been 2 GSA seasons.
Hey, that works.
I've never missed once except for half of them. But yeah, I hope I'll make it so I can finally win something. Stop being second place in everything.
I know how
Stop
you
making
feel.
these insane playoff runs with all this heat and stuff only to get to the finals and choke.
Speaking of heat, the next question is from PokeLife, who just subscribed right before this interview. Who uses the best heat?
Me, next question.
We're going to go to Inferno's question. How did you feel sweeping Blue with SD Ferrothorn? I kind of hinted at this at the beginning.
Just so everybody knows, Blue has been talking a lot of mess for over a year. He always says that he could beat me. I've always said that I could destroy him with the most immaculate heat that he's ever seen in his life. We've only played one game, I believe, before this. And in that game, that disgusting game, he managed to dodge 2 rock slides, which would have, I won't say secured my win, but it would have stopped me from getting swept in the exact way that I did, because it meant that Salamence could not come in. And unfortunately, I missed those and got burnt, which then led to Salamence coming in and sweeping me. DD Rocky Helmet Salamence swept me because I had nothing for it. And I knew I had nothing for it. But he still was like, yeah, I beat you. And I was like, I will beat you. I was mad, but I wasn't like mad. And then cut to a year later, I was like, I'm going to run SD Ferrothorn because he has nothing for Steel plus Grass Stab. And it worked. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. So it felt deserved.
I'd say it's deserved. Okay, we're going to move on to the rest of the questions, which are all from Blue, as I think this pattern will continue for the rest of League Center. The next question for Blue. So I went in the future 30 years and met someone named Chloe Blackmore. Thoughts?
I'm not answering that.
Okay. Next question. First team ever.
San Antonio Shamans.
Next question. I think we've already touched on this. Do I click Ice Shard?
Every time.
Next question. What is the best Mega Pinsir check in draft format?
You see, I actually really like this question because it's an actual question. I would still say Zapdos. I know that now, well, like, if you can prep for like what your opponent has, because they usually only have one check. I know even now, like SD, Stone Edge Pinsir can beat that. Even though Celesteal is a thing, even though Skarm's a thing, I still would say Zapdos because, just they're more reliable. Well, Zapdos is more reliable, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
You can run anything that you can run reliably and slap a scarf on it and just outspeed and hit them with a discharge or whatever and not die to a quick attack. I just prefer Zapdos too because it can't come in on it. It can kind of come in on like low HP, like 50% Skarm if it's a bad set that has Iron Head. But apparently people like running that now. And you can just hit them with a close combat and it'll fall over because it's Skarm. But,
Yeah. Okay. Next question from Blue is Baba.
I don't know what that means. You have to ask actual questions.
And the last question is...
Don't even say that.
Okay.
Don't even mention that. I want you to go into post. I want you to edit that out. I don't want it showing up on this video.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, so that is all for the interview with good old 27. I'm sure he'll.
I hope you have the replay of me winning with Power Punch Last Resort Lopunny in this video somewhere.
Is it lewd?
No, I'll make sure you have it.
Yeah,
but you better put it in here.
Just send it to me.
Okay. Thank you.
So remember to leave your questions down for next week's interview, which is going to be Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics from Dream League.
Complete buster, by the way.
He's a really good dude. So that's all. My name's Clayton, also known as Commander, and we will see you again next week.
Blue is a bitch. I just want you to know that.